Per, Markus Fleck and Matthias with http://d4e.at. Let's start.
Okay, thank you for introduction. We are coming from Austria. We are a very small team. The team consists of 4 persons. Here you can see 3. The 4th person has to stay at home and work very hard. That's me. I am a teacher in Austria. I teach math, informatics, and sports. And I have the network at school. That's mine. The next is Matthias Praunegger. He's a student of technical physics in Graz at University of Technology. Markus Fleck, he also is a student of physics at the same university in Graz. Here you can see our 4th member of the team. He has to stay at home. He's building a new house and has to work very hard, as I told you. Now, I have to tell you something about the school system in Austria to understand what you are doing and how the project is working. First of all, our students has to go to primary school at the age of 6 years up to 10 years. And then they can decide to go to the secondary academic school or to the lower secondary school. And in the age of 14, they can decide to go to the academic secondary school upper cycle or to a type of VET college or VET school. VET is vocational education and training. Or the other possibility is to go to a apprenticeship training and vocational school. The main is now that there exists an agreement between the federal government for education in Austria with Microsoft. It's only a rental and upgrade license. That means you have to buy a new hardware with an operating system, a licensed operating system from Microsoft. And then you're allowed to install the latest version of the Microsoft products. We get twice a year a package of the new Microsoft products. For the teacher and pupils and students, it is possible to get a work-at-home license, and the costs for this agreement is 2,500,000 euros a year. Okay, that's it. Good deal, yes. And now the more important thing is that this agreement is only valid for the schools who are not colored in red. Yeah, not colored in red, and this is the school type where I teach. Yeah, I am teaching in a secondary academic school and in the upper cycle. And we have the Microsoft products in our school, and a lot of colleagues are telling me there is no reason to teach other software than Microsoft products. Yes, they teach Microsoft Windows operating system and Word. That's the most important thing, to teach Word. Even the school books, you look in and listen and read. Please start Word and go on with the lesson. So you can see it is very hard to place an open source product in these types of schools. And now I told a lot of stuff, and the question is, what is desktop4education and what is server4education? Desktop4education is a free workstation for the students, for all types of schools in Austria, and it is easy to install. We, as you see later on, we made a DVD or an ISO, and you can install it. And the server for education is placed on the same DVD. We are using, as you see, SUSE Linux since 1997. We started with SUSE Linux 5.1 at a web server. And we bought all these boxes and installed these versions on our servers. We had installed up to 16 servers in our school. And now let's have a look at the history of this project. I had just 10 years ago had a novel server at my school, and I had a web server. I had the user on the novel server, had the users on a web server. It's very good to change a password. Oh, I've forgotten to change the password on this system. So, and I remember at June 2003, my novel server crashed. And now, what and how to do? I decided in summer 2003 to create my own server. And at the beginning of the school year 2003, I had a server because I found in the internet a ready-made solution called Slicks, if anybody knows this project. Slicks server, I downloaded 2 CDs, installed, and my server was ready-made. We used this server just for 2 years because the problem was this server was only a domain controller for Windows clients. I always wanted to have Linux clients connected to this server. And so we started in 2005 with the first version, where we changed the CD1 of the SUSE 9.3. We installed there an autojust.xml. And then you put on the other 5 DVDs, and you had the first server and desktop4education installed. Next is 2006. You see, Sun has powered this project and our federal government for education. And it's further on in 2006, a new version of this project, 2008, 2010, 2011, and 2012, and now we are developing the next version, 2013. In the year 2009, the Austrian Federal Ministry of Education made an Europe-wide call for tender. Therefore, we joined to KCS, Competence Cluster South. It's located in our area. And we take part on this call, and we won. And so, for the first time, we get some money for this project. And it is limited for 3 years, this project, and we'll see what the future will bring. Okay, in this project we promised that we do some things. We promised that we will update our server and our desktop once a year. We'll have free DVDs, and we will have images for VirtualBox, for VMware Xen. You can download an ISO image from this DVD. We make installation workshops. Stichwort Installation. That's our website, d4e.at. Here you can see one project is training Linux called Linux for Education, where we introduce or teach the people how to install and use Linux systems. And in free software such as Inkscape, LibreOffice, GIMP, Audacity, OpenShot for cutting videos. And we also make installation workshops. To the workshops you can come with 2 computers on your arms, place it, and we help you to install the server and will help you to install the desktop. And after a half day, you can go home with your 2 machines. And the next thing we introduce you how to deploy the desktop. So you have installed a whole school with desktop and server education in one day. Okay. War schon zu viel? Okay. The next responsibility is that we have installed a hotline. If you have any problems with the server for education or the desktop education, you can hotline only in Austria. You can write an email to support. You can look to a step-by-step tutorial. We'll show you. Every step is, if you have an installation, if you want to install a printer, user management, a lot of screenshots, how to install, how to implement printer, and so on. And the last thing is, if you don't want to do all these things, you are not able to, if you want to do not do these things, you can invite the company to, and you let install all these things, but just this not free. From the DVDs, we already spread about 16,000 exemplars, pieces. Okay, the next thing is one of this company you can invite, and this company will install your desktop and server education.
So, as Helmuth told you before, the desktop4education is a free and open source workstation for students from elementary up to secondary school. It's currently based on SUSE 12.1, but we're working on 12.2. It's, yeah, it won't take long. Yeah, the great advantage against other competitors is that we have a automatic or semi-automatic installation. I'll come to that. And we have a lot of software pre-installed and pre-configured. As I told you, the installation is semi-automatic. Why semi-automatic? Because we had some issues with full automatic installation, like people coming to us, hey, great product and everything, but it somehow trashed my other partitions, and yeah. So it's semi-automatic. You can choose full installation, go erase a whole hard drive and everything, or side by side with other Linux or other Windows installations. And you can also choose to set up a standalone version or a connection to a server like our server4education or a Windows server or something. Yeah, the software we install is automatically configured right after installation, all done by Autojust XML files. So you can also copy the XML file and use other installation media. And it's designed to be suitable for inexperienced users. So, you know, regular teachers and everything don't know how to do computer. So they just know how to turn on and yeah. So they just put the DVD in and hopefully it works. Yeah, and if you already have a existing infrastructure, you can also install via PXE. You just boot from the server and yeah. The installation DVD boots up like this. It's in German, but yeah, we're working on an English version. It's booting from hard disk, installing desktop4education, installing server4education, installing terminal server4education. That's another feature Matthias will hopefully tell you about. And cloning. For cloning and deployment, we have UDP cast, clonezilla, and stuff like that. So it's quite the normal open source installation screen, except for everything is pre-filled out for you, so you don't have to do anything, just click on install. You have to do one thing. We include the Flash player and Fluendo MP3 plugin, so you have to accept these licenses if you want them. If you don't, yeah, just decline and you don't get them. Yeah, and then installation with quite a nice looking boot, dia show, and hopefully you get to this. Yeah. So now what do we do with this nice looking desktop with the funny little penguin and everything? Of course, we have a lot of software. It's a lot of popular open source software like Blender or LibreOffice or Audacity, something like that. And of course, we added some other software, mainly for educational purposes. Yeah, and it's all set up and ready to run. Yeah, there you can see LibreOffice, Inkscape, Eclipse, the stuff most of you will know. This is GeoGebra. Yeah, it's quite popular in Austria. It's a dynamic mathematics and geography tool, so you can put points and circles and everything and drag them around and see how this influences the formula and everything. So this is iTalk. That's a quite nice program for schools without projectors or anything. You can. There's a teacher client and a student client, so to say. And the teacher can project his screen over all the student screens or lock the student screens if they don't listen or something. And he can also control what the students do. So if they really learn or just surf Facebook or anything. That's OpenShot. It's a quite nice video editor. I think it's in the normal Pacman sources for SUSE, but yeah, we thought it would be nice. And it's tip 10 or tip 10 or something. It's a German program developed in Berlin. It's for learning to write on the computer. It's mainly for German layouts, but it can be configured for other layouts as well, English and Dvorak and everything. So that's QCut. It's a competitor to 2D CAD software like AutoCAD or something, but it will be replaced by LibreCAD in the next version. Yeah, that's another one we really like. It's Maxima, and it's a great tool for mathematics or something. It's direct competitor to the commercial tool Mathematica. It's great in connection with GNU-plot. It can plot and do everything and derive and integrate and yeah, just about everything. So, server4education.
Okay, thank you very much. The desktop4education includes a lot of software, more than 1 gigabyte and education software. And now the server4education is also based on OpenSUSE. At this version, it's based on 12.1, but the development based on 12.2 is still in process. It's on my notebook. If you want to take a look, you can do it. There are a lot of things to do. Every version you have to check if the AutoJust is still running, the LDAP server is still running, and so on. But we managed it each time. But now the server4education. As I already said, it's also based on OpenSUSE. We are very proud that we are using SUSE a long time ago. The AutoJust allows us very, very simple to install a server or a client as we really like. We write it in our XML file and the result is exactly what we want. The server4education is our proud project. It's full qualified domain controller, so you can easily connect your Windows clients to this server, but it's also a full domain controller for the Linux clients and the Mac clients. You can have a safe connection between the server and the clients, not just read, write, NFS access. It's very secure, so the students can't tell or remove files from the other students or from the teacher. And we also developed own Just modules. We are very proud about this development because now it's very, very easy to configure the server. You just have to add new groups, add new users and new network shares, and everything is done. You have a server, which is a file server, which is a database server, which is a web server, print server, DNS server, DHCP server, proxy server, and so on and so on. The list is very long. And everything is done if you use our 4 new Just modules. The screenshot is also in German because it's an Austrian project and mainly used in Austria, but we also have installations outside Austria. You see maybe you see it. There is a server management module and a group management module and a user management group module and a network share module and also a client management tool. So you easily can manage your whole system with just these AutoJust modules. So take a look at each module. At the end of the installation of the server4education, it's semi-automatically, you get these questions. You have to insert the domain name or the host name of the new server. That's very important for the Windows clients. They have to be in a domain that everything is working. And you have to set your own network configuration. We also filled these fields out. You can just click next and you have the network setting as we have pre-configured for you, but you can easily change this 3-5 fields and you have your own network configuration. You can easily start or stop the DHCP server and the DNS server. Just click on this button and you have a full network or not. Okay, that's the network configuration. That's everything. If you use proxy servers or etc., you have to do a lot of more things, but that's normally enough. Okay, now you have to add new groups in your school. You have teachers, you have students with other rights than other students, and so on. And you have students who have already left the school, and you have some special users who are administrators, so-called Wartung-Benutzer. They have more rights than others users in the system. You just have to click Add New Group and set a name, and that's done. And it's all stored in a local LDAP server, open LDAP server, and every component is working together with this open LDAP server. Now you have to add a new user. That's also an own YAST module. You just have to say, okay, new user, fill in the fields, new username, which group this user is, and set the password, and everything is done. The server will create a new home directory for this user. The web server will be configured with this new user, and so on. And at the end, you find. And at the end, you will get a long list of all your users in the school. You can also set if the user can change their passwords by themselves, or the administrator have to set their passwords. And you can choose if the user profiles are each person has its own remote user profile or has it as a group. So each student has the same profile or individual profiles. You just have to click here in the YAST module and everything is done. You don't have to do anything on the clients or on the server anymore. Okay, and you also can import your existing users from a calc sheet. You just have to edit, file, select, add the file, and all your users are in the system. And you don't have to do anything else. And now to the next YAST module. It's for network shares. That's very important for schools and for companies. You have to work together with other people or to share documents and videos and pictures. And that's very, very important in schools. So you have to set a new name for this new share and set the permissions who can read these network shares and who can write into these network shares. And on the client side, you don't have to do anything. On the Windows client, you don't have to do anything. The Linux clients also get this information, and the Mac clients also. And in the middle of this picture, you see Cloud4education. Markus will tell you a few things about Cloud4education in a few minutes. That's also very important together with this network shares. You can also use the local, the intranet network shares outside your school or your company. So here you see the overview of all your network shares. You can easily create a new, or you can rename it every day if you want, or you can remove it. It's quite simple, but it works very, very well. Then our last YAST module is client management. You can add new rooms if you want. Here are 4 rooms defined. And you can put all your clients into separated rooms. So you have an overview of all your clients and workstation in your school. And you can also use Wake on LAN and automatically shuts down scripts, so you can manage all your clients from the server. Okay, now to Cloud4education.
Okay, now Cloud4education is another feature we're quite proud of. You may know OwnCloud, the cloud hosted on your own servers, so like file hosting and everything. And we combined it with our server4education. So if you install a server4education on the web server, the Cloud4education is automatically set up. And it's fully integrated in the whole Just module system and everything. And you can share, you can save in the cloud calendars, calendar events, contacts, files, etc. And important feature, we combined it with the normal home directories of the users. So if they put a file in, if they are in the school, they save a file to the home directories or something, and when they're at home, they get, oh, I need this file for my homework or something. They just log into the Cloud4education and can download this file from their home directories. And there's also a shared folder. You can do shares for single classes or courses or something, or just groups of students. Yeah. The access to the Cloud4education is via web interface for a school web server. Yeah, the web interface works quite well. We have a demo later on. But there are also clients for every major operating system, Linux, Mac, and Windows. And additionally, you can access the files via WebDAV. You can just mount it or on your Linux or Mac system and do some stuff with it on Windows. Yeah, Windows is a bit more complicated. Also, you can get the calendar events or contacts via CalDAV or CardDAV. Works as well. Just mount it. Just enter the URL in your calendar or contact management, and you're ready to go. And there are also mobile clients, like for iOS and Android, and maybe there will some for Windows Mobile, but yeah. So let's just go to the live demo. So the login screen is quite similar to OwnCloud, just with our logo. So the starting page, if you log in, there's the Gemeinsam, it's the shared folder for everything, and your home directory. Yeah, here you can see the shared folder. There's folders for single classes or single courses or single teachers who just say, I want all my students to have this and this file or this presentation or anything. Yeah, you can open up plain text files and I think PDFs right in the browser, in the web interface. Just look, and also image files, and yeah, and the newest versions of OwnCloud also support video files right in the browser. Yeah, will be in the next version. Yeah, I can see this is our old desktop background. Yeah, I don't translate that. So, Cloud for Education. It's it's quite easy way to access your files from home, and especially the mobile devices get great response from the students and teachers alike. Teachers, yeah, if they know how to use a smartphone. Yeah. So, ich glaube.
Okay, thank you. Cloud for Education is fully integrated into the server for education. If you add users and groups and files into the server for education, you also have everything in the cloud for education. And now our earliest project, it's so-called Realized Lab. That's a new way how to manage all your workstations at school or at home if you have more than one PC. The idea behind this project is every client has a small minimalized base system. We used, for the best practice, a Debian system because it's very, very small, using a few MP RAMs. And over this base system, you start your X server, and every operating system you want to use is just running in a virtual box session. And you can install this system on every client, or you can use the server education for the deployment. Because if you have a server education and all your groups and users and network shares, you can also use the pre-installed BXE server. You can put up your client, press F, some function button on your keyboard, and you will get a screen from the BXE server, and you can choose install a Realized Lab client and a small system is a FIA fully automatically installation of Debian is running over this computer, and after 5 minutes you have a full operating client with everything pre-configured, and you can just begin your work after 5 minutes. They have a small minimalized base system, and if you want to use Windows or Windows XP or Windows 7 or desktop for education or Ubuntu and so on, you just have to copy all these virtual box images over the network from the, managed by the server. You can select all your clients you want to have Windows XP and desktop for education, for example, and UTP-cast will deploy all your images out to the clients. And a very good benefit of this system is you have remote access to all your clients. Nobody really knows that there's nothing. There's just a virtual box machine running in the system because it's full screen. You don't see the base system, and the users can do everything with their virtual box images because they are just read-only. They are temporary write access on these images. But if you want to restore everything, you just have to reboot the machine or the virtual box machine, and everything is resetted. And you can easily deploy all your images just from the server, and you can wake up all your clients automatically based on wake on LAN, and you can shut down each client at a pre-configured tight